several of them. But it'll be fine. Well, it'll just take us a second to recopy those numbers. Okay, so are you ready? Number 2, I want you to make your matrices. They should look like this. See how they're like all squished and looking wrong? So we're gonna cross it out and we're gonna rewrite them. So your A matrix, scribble that out. Okay, it should be A equals 1, 2, -3, -4, 5. Okay, so if you'll just go ahead and fix that on number 2, and we're gonna have to do it for several of the questions. Okay, for B, it should be -7, -8, -9, 10, 11. So number 2 should now look like this. Okay, and then while we're at fixing it, we're just gonna go ahead and do it also. So once you have that copied, it says, what are the dimensions of the matrix? So remember that dimensions, you're always gonna put the rows first and the columns second. So if I'm doing A, how many rows does this one have? And remember, rows are this way.
Oh.
So it has 1, 2, 3 rows. And then your columns have to go up and down. So it would be 1, 2 columns. So that would be a 3 by 2 matrix. If you put 2 by 3, it is wrong. It has to be in the right order, that your rows come first, columns come second. Okay, now take a look at letter B. What are the dimensions for matrix B? How many rows? How many rows? Okay, 2, very good, because it's 1, 2, and then how many columns? 3. 1, 2, 3, very good. So that would be a 2 by 3. Okay, and remember that the word for that is dimensions, because you're measuring how many does it go down and then how many columns across. Okay, one more question for number 2. It says, could we multiply matrix A and matrix B? The rule with multiplying, I actually didn't teach all this, you learned it before I came back, is that your middle numbers have to match. So if your A matrix is a 3 by 2, and you want to multiply it with a 2 by 3, as long as these numbers are the same, then yes, you can multiply. But your 2 middle numbers here and here, they have to be the same, or else if you try to multiply it in the calculator, it'll give you an error. Okay? So you should have your number 2 all the way done. And then we're, huh? Next one we're gonna do is number 4, please. So go ahead and turn to number 4, please. And we're gonna have to do a couple of edits on this page because the matrix copied all wrong. Okay, so number 4. Dang it, this is gonna be so annoying. Okay, your M. We're just gonna scribble it out and redo it. M should be 4, 7, -3. Oh, you can't see that. 2, -2, -1. And then 6, -5, 14. Your N should be 2, 8, 5. 10, 2, -2. -2, 15, and 0. Okay, now, once you get those copied down, what is it asking you to do with M and N? What operation? Add. And do you remember there are 2 ways that you can add? You can do it by hand, just add the numbers in the same spot. But now that we know how to put it in the calculator, just do it in the calculator. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, in your calculator, so I'm gonna put here, do add in calculator. So watch how we do it. Remember that to pull up a matrix in the calculator, you push alpha zoom. But then you have to set the size before you can type in the numbers. So for example, if I want to do M, how many rows? How many rows?
3.
3. And how many columns? 3. So then you're gonna have to change your matrix in your calculator where 3 and 3 are both highlighted. Okay, otherwise, if you push OK, it's gonna be the wrong size. It's not gonna have enough spots for your numbers. Okay, everybody got that? And then we're gonna type in the numbers for M. Okay, which we copied down. Okay, so now we have matrix M. And then if we're adding, I'm gonna put a plus.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna put matrix N right behind it. And now you don't have to do them by hand at all. They should have showed you how to do it by hand, but now you don't have to anymore. Okay, and then once you have it like that, push enter, and it should give you the answer. Okay, that way you don't have to do it by hand. You can back there. Ok, so para este, si solo quieres el sumado, no necesitas el gráfico. So a la izquierda aquí y removerlo. Uno, and then poner. So quieres, este es el matrix M y después el sumado y matrix N después aquí. So alpha zoom. Y poner los nuevos números aquí. Okay, so esta no es correcto, so removerlo. So alpha zoom. Ajá, y quieres el 3 y el 3. Porque aquí 1, 2, 3 y 1, 2, 3. So este número primero es un 3. Push enter. And then el segundo, 1, 2, 3, es lo mismo. El 3 está bien, go to OK. Perfecto, de poner esos números aquí. So no necesitas el graph ahora. Solo ponerlo en frente. No quieres esto. Ajá, and then poner delete. And then está bien. So continúa con los números. Okay, so remember, I know we talked about RF last time, but you're only doing RF if you're solving. So if they're just asking you to like add, subtract, multiply, you don't need the RF. Okay. And so then your answer should be a new matrix. Now just look for a second, where do you think the 6 came from? It's the 4 and the 2 when you add them. Okay, but the calculator will do it all for you. Okay? All right, now take a look at number 4. Number 4, your matrix K should say this. 12, 4, -2, 0, -6, 20. Okay, so for that one, it was asking you to add. What is this one asking you to do? Multiply by what? 0.5, very good. So last time we were adding, this time we're gonna multiply by 0.5. So you're gonna put 0.5 times the matrix in your calculator. But remember, now that you know how to do it in the calculator, you don't have to do any of these by hand. So let me show you how to do that. So you're gonna go into your next line, you're gonna put 0.5 times. And then you're gonna input this matrix. Now remember, you have to match the size or it won't let you put the matrix in. So looking at this matrix, it was copied wrong, but hopefully we fixed it. How many rows? 1, 2, and how many columns? 3. So when I do my alpha zoom, I'm gonna have to change it to be a 2 by 3. Otherwise, when the matrix pops up, it's not gonna have the right size. And then I'll put these numbers in right here. So it'll be 12, 4, -2, 0, -6, and 20. And what your calculator is gonna do for you is times by every single one of those numbers with the 0.5. So let me know if you need help with that. Okay, good job. Good job. Okay, so primero 0.5 primero. 0.5. 0.5. Multiplicar. And then after you. Tienes este matrix aquí. Multiplicar, second alpha zoom. Y quieres, hay 1, 2 y 1, 2, 3. So el primero número cambia a 2. Y el segundo, el 3 está bien. So push enter. Okay. Y me poner todos estos números aquí en la caja. ¿Sí? Good? All good over here? Okay. So you should notice that your answer, 0.5, that's the same as a half, so all your numbers cut in half. So your 12 is now a 6. That's now a 2. And that's now a -1. Then a 0, -3. Okay. All right, number 5 you can do. Okay, but we have to fix our matrix. So G should be -1, 7, -3, 2, 0, 5. And H should be 9, 14, 8, 0, -5. Now, you're still gonna do this in the calculator, so copy down your matrix. Again, I'm sorry I copied this wrong. And what operation is it asking you to do with G and H? Is it adding you to add, subtract, or multiply in the calculator? What is it asking you to do here? If it wants G star H. Multiply, very good. So then in the calculator, you're gonna do the multiply in the calculator. To get your answer. Okay? So you'll type in matrix G, multiply, matrix H. And then real quick question, as you're typing them in, what is the size for matrix G? What's the size for G? How many rows? So this is a 2 by 3, and what's the size for H? 3 by 2. And remember, you can only multiply if those middle numbers match, do they? Then you can do it in the calculator. Okay? So let's see if we can do that. Okay, so primero poner en la calculadora. En este símbolo significa que vamos a multiplicarlos. So, el segundo, porque tienes 1, 2, 3 y 1, 2, cambiarlo a 3 primero aquí y 2 allá. ¿Ah? And now es lo mismo que este y de los números. All right, everybody good with that one? Can we go on? Okay, next one we're gonna look at is number 6. Okay, and so you'll notice that your matrix here, it's almost right, but it's still not. So it should say, let's scribble it out. 2x minus y equals 5. And then 3x minus 4y equals 15. Okay? Now, whenever you have the equals, that's when you do RREF, which is what we learned last class. So if you're add, subtract, or multiply, you do not need RF. But if there's an equals here, this is where you're gonna RF that. Now, quick question, is everything lined up right that you can RF that right away? Yes or no? Are your X's on top of each other? Are your Y's on top of each other? Your numbers on top of each other? then you can RF that right away. What number goes here? A 1. Okay, now, since number 6 is already set up, I'm not gonna do that one with you. Okay, because it's a little bit easier since it's ready to go. But turn the page and we're gonna do number 7 together. Okay, turn the page and we're gonna do number 7 together. Okay, but first, we're gonna have to fix it. So, number 7, this is what it should say. 2x equals 3y plus z equals, plus 7. Then y minus 13 equals x minus 4z. Okay. So write that one down first. That's what it should have said from the beginning. Okay, so remember the rule. Actually, I'll let y'all finish writing. Okay, so remember the rule. In order for you to RF it, how do the X's have to be? All lined up. Very good, Alina. What about the Y's? All lined up. Then the Z's, then the equals. So when you look at this, is this already all lined up? Okay, no. In the first column, you've got an X, which is good, an X on the bottom, which is good, but then what should that be? An X. So this one, we're gonna have to fix it before we can RF it. So which row is already good to go? That it's X, then Y, then Z, then equals, then the number. The top row is the equals in the right spot? No. So which one is already in the correct order? Okay, good. So I'm gonna put a little check here. This one, we're gonna keep the same because it's already in the right order. Okay, so the X, then the Y, then the Z, then the equals, then the number. But the other 2 rows, we're gonna have to fix. So let me remind you of the rule. Anytime that you move a letter across the equal sign, you have to flip the sign. So if I'm looking at my top row, the 2x is good to go. But do you see how the 3y is on the wrong side of the equals? So when I move the 3y over, instead of a positive 3y, what will it be when we shift it? Negative 3y. Okay, and then look at your z. It's way over here, but it's supposed to be on the other side. And as soon as the plus z crosses over, what does it turn into? A minus or a negative z equals 7. So as you fix it, if you shift something forward or backwards, okay, you have to switch the sign. Now look at the second row. Where is X? Is it on the correct side? X is supposed to be way over there. So if it's a positive X here, when I move it, what is it on the other side? Now it's gonna be a negative X. But my Y was already on that side, it was a positive Y. Now I'm looking for my Z, where's the Z? Is it on the correct side? Is it supposed to be over here? No, so if it's a minus 4z, when I move it over, what's gonna happen to it? Now it's a what? A positive 4z. Okay, the last thing I'm looking for is the number by itself. and I see that I have a -13, but is that in the correct spot? The number is supposed to be on that side. So if it's a -13 and I move it across, what's gonna happen to it? It's gonna turn into a positive. And now that everything's lined up, you have all the X's, all the Y's, all the Z's, then now you can RF it to solve. Okay. So you have to fix it first and then RF it in the calculator. Do we need help with that? Okay, let's see if we remember how to do it. To pull up the RF, it's second x1 math and then all the way down. Then alpha zoom. What size is this matrix? How many rows? 1, 2, 3 by how many? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be 3 by 4. And then you're gonna take those numbers, put them into the box. We're doing this for a second. And then y'all, real quick, what should I put here? What number for the Z? What number needs to go there? 1. And then here, 1. And then here, 1. Also, make sure that if it's a minus, really it's a -1, -1, +1 and -1. You only put a 0 if the letter's totally missing from that row and there aren't any of them. Okay?
Yeah, you're gonna have to make these and make it different, so the reasons for the small. Here. So clear that out, reason number 6. Oh, this one, you're just multiplying, so you don't need to. So just do this, multiply, and. Remember how to pull the R up?
And you should get all whole numbers for this. Oh, now, aquí es un negativo, ¿no? ¿Sí? So tienes que cambiarlo. So este uno es negativo. Ajá. Hay otros. Aquí, negativo 1. Y también, sí. Okay, pero ahora necesitas el RF en frente. Up there. So do, good. There we go. Yeah. This one, I think the answers maybe do come out kind of crazy. Okay, so when you get your answer, remember, you don't care about any of the 1s and the 0s. You really just care about these 3 numbers right here. Remember that your first answer is the answer for the first letter. Okay, so I'm gonna put X equals -1.8. Y is -4.87. And Z is 4.01. Okay? But remember, you do not need all of the 1s and 0s. You really just care about that last column. Okay, are we all good with that? Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple more that I want you to do on your own, and then we'll do the word problems in a bit. So will you please circle number 8? You can do that one right now. Number 8, you can do that one right now, so circle number 8. Also, your matrix for those is just one row. So those are already right. It's 23, 14, 31, 30, 24, 29, 11, 10. So those are both the way they're supposed to look. Okay, number 9, you can do right now, but we're gonna have to fix your matrix. So for number 9, matrix A should be this. So circle number 9, you can do this one now. It should be 2, 4, -1, 5, -2, 7, 0, 6, 1. And then B should be 7, 13, -2, 2, -5, 22, 1. Okay, and then remember, you just put it right in the calculator. Okay, you're doing 3A minus B for that one. Okay, 3A minus B for that one. Okay, so you're gonna do those 2 questions, then turn the page. Next one that you're gonna do is number 13, circle number 13. Okay. Go to number 13, we're just gonna fix the matrix. Okay, you can do number 13. And it should look like this. X minus 2y plus z equals 0. 3x equals -2z plus 9. 4x plus y minus z equals 3. Now, real quick, as you're writing that down, I want you to pay attention to which rows are already good to go. So for that one, which rows do you not even have to fix that they're already good? Is the top row good? X, Y, Z number, yes. What other row is fine? The bottom row. Okay, but this one you're gonna have to fix. Now, who's on the wrong side? Is the 3x on the right side? The 3x is on the right side, but what about the 2z? And so if it's gonna have to cross over, what do you have to remember to do if it's a minus 2z? Add it to a plus 2z. Now, one other question. What letter is missing from this row? What letter is not there at all? No y's, right? And if there are none of them, what number do you put? That means none. 0. So your middle row should be 3x, 0 y's, because you don't have any, and then a plus 2z. Okay? All right, and then last question you can do right now, you can do number 16. So circle number 16. Okay. Yes. Okay, then we'll come back and do the word problems here in about 15 minutes. So, ahora, trabajar el número 8. 9, 6. So, front. So ahora puedes terminar el número 6. So, circle. Número 6. Puedes hacerlo ahora. Vamos a poner un circle. Número 6. Número 8 y número 9. 6, 8, 9 y hay dos más. Número 13. Puedes hacerlo ahora y después 16. La pregunta final. Y si tienes preguntas, pregúntame, ¿ok? Number 8, number 9. And then tell me when you're done. You need 13. This is 13. Debe usar el RF cuando tiene los iguales. Pero no necesitas y no tienes el igual. Pero aquí, porque hay igual, usa el RF. ¿Sí? Okay. You want it? Uh-huh.
I got this simple thing.
Oh, don't RF it. All it asks you to do is to find their combined hours. Combined just means. So you're gonna do the first matrix plus the second. Should be a 1 by 4, yeah. You got it from there? So, dice que quieres combine. Combine es combinar. So, quieres la suma de los dos. Poner este plus positivo, este negativo. So, en la calculadora, alpha zoom. And then es 1 y 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. De poner los números. ¿Por qué quieres combinar? Poner un sumado después. El plus, ajá, y el segundo. Para la respuesta.
Okay, so, el tres enfrente significa que tienes que multiplicar este con tres. So, está bien si pones el tres enfrente o después está bien. So, poner multiplicar con tres y después el minus. Ajá, and then quieres ver este número exacto. So, alpha zoom y poner los números de matrix B.
Pero normalmente poner el 3 en frente. Pero si necesitas poner después esto mismo.
So if it says is to multiply, then you don't need that. The RF is only gonna go in when you have to do this. So go ahead and just push OK, and actually we're gonna need to change those. This one is a 3 by 2. We change that to be a 3 first and a 2 second. We can delete the RF later. Okay, so then go down to OK. And then go ahead and put your numbers in, and then before you push enter, go all the way back to your RF and just delete it out. And then hit delete. You just want to take the dollars. Does that make sense? So there's no equals and no R. That's what you do. Perfecto. Very good. Todos things you want. So then for this one, can you multiply that? You didn't even have to do it. But if it was a 3 by 2 or 2 by 3, can you multiply it? And how do you multiply it? We're gonna go on to the word problems in about 2 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna be able to do the word problems. Yeah. Okay. Take that, blue bathroom pass. You didn't take the pass, you just left? Silly goose. Honestly, those aren't even my passes, but the long-term sub left them and I was like, well, you know. So see, no hay un poner un cero.
Yes.
So, si es positivo porque tienes que moverlo al otro lado de igual, ¿sí? Pues positive, pero si no hay multiplicar, pues no debe ser. ¿Por qué es un cero? No. So, puedes poner plus cero o minus cero, pero un cero también. So, como es un 3x, and then positivo 2z, ¿sí? And then cero y, porque no hay nada, ¿sí? Okay, we're gonna do 2 more examples together out of the word problems. So if you'll flip all the way back to number 1. We're gonna do 2 examples, we'll do number 1, and then I think. You already did it? Oh. All day, I guess you can see if you did it right. Okay, number 1, it says, Mabel went to the mall with 2 friends. She purchased 2 shirts, a pair of pants, 3 pairs of shoes for $300. So first, let's write our equation for what Mabel got. Okay, so just there, she got 2 shirts, so we're gonna put 2x, and x is gonna be shirts. She also got a pair of pants. Now, if it just says a pair of pants, how many is that? So that would be 1y for pants. And then it says she got how many pairs of shoes? 3 pairs of shoes, so we'll put 3z for shoes. And then it says, how much did she spend? She got 2 shirts, a pair of pants, and 3 shoes for $300. Put that on the other side. Okay, then we're gonna read the next sentence, and we're gonna write our second equation. Okay, so it says one of her friends purchased a shirt and 2 pairs of pants for $135. So a shirt goes in the first column, and if it's a shirt, then how many?
1.
So 1x. 2 pairs of pants, that's my y. But did she buy any shoes? Then this friend, you're gonna put a 0z, because they didn't buy any of the shoes. So remember, if they ever don't buy something, you have to put a number there, then just put 0 to say they didn't get any. And then how much did that friend spend? 135. Okay, we have one more friend. Her other friend spent $205 on 3 shirts and 2 pairs of shoes. But remember, you have to make sure you put them in the right spot. So 205 needs to go over here, because that's how much she spent. Those are your dollars. Then she got 3 shirts, that's 3x. And 2 pairs of shoes. Do I want to put that as a Y or an X if it's shoes? Where should the 2 shoes go? The Y or the X or the Z? Sorry, the Z. So I'll put 2Z. Okay, but then because she didn't get any pants, what do I put here in the middle?
0.
If they didn't get any, you put 0. Now look at your equations. Are they all lined up? All your X's, all your Y's, all your Z's, and then all your numbers? Then you're ready to RF that right away to solve it. So go ahead and do that for me, please. Okay, we're gonna RF that, remember, because it has an equals is when you RF. And equals is when you RF. Sammy, the other one we're gonna do together is 14. You done that one?
So, aquí, solo quieres uno, dos, tres. ¿Cuánto tienes aquí? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Tú tienes, cuatro aquí, pero solo quieres tres. So, removerlo. Ajá. Second, X, yep. Ajá. So that I'll presume. Pero tienes que elegir los números aquí que son mismos de aquí. So solo quieres 1, 2, 3 para el primero número. Y el segundo, el 4 está bien. So ese es 0. Aquí. Pero tienes que poner el RF enfrente. ¿Sí? So make sure you do RF because it has an equals in it. And then we're gonna do 14 together in a couple minutes. Okay, so I have mine up here if you wanna take a look at it, see if it's the same. Remember, you don't care about the ones or the zeros, you only care about these numbers right here. So your X should be 25. Your Y should be 55. And then your Z should be 65. Okay, and then remember that each of those things goes with the type of clothing that it was. So for example, remember that X is for a shirt. So it's $25 to buy a shirt. And then it's $55 to buy pants. This is number 1 still. We're about to go to the next one. Okay, so for your test, I think it asks you to actually label. So make sure you go back that if it's a word problem only, then you want to put what it stands for. So the shirts are $25, pants 55, shoes 65. Okay, are we all good there? Last one we're gonna do together is number 14. Number 14. So número 14. Okay, so we're gonna have to read it first. Then we're gonna have to write our equation second. So it says, James has a collection of nickels and dimes that have a total value of $1.10. Now, do we know how much a nickel is worth?
Okay, if it's 5 cents, that's gonna be 0.05. Okay, and on your test, if you forget, it's fine. My other class, they didn't know how much time. So a nickel is 5 cents. What about a dime? 10 cents, thank you. So then it should be 0.10. And then remember, when I write my equation, if it's 5 cents for each nickel, then I'm gonna do 0.05x plus. And then how much are the dimes worth, we said? 0.10y. And then if these are money, remember that they should equal more money. So what other number in the equation is money? The 1.10, very good. So remember, it's money, money, money. And then this was the nickels, and Y was the dime. Okay. Now, we need 2 rows at least, or we can't solve it. So the other thing it says is that there are 13 total coins. So that means that if I take all of my nickels plus all of my dimes, I should have 13 altogether. And keep in mind that if you're just counting coins, you don't care how much they are. You're just saying, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're just counting them up. So that's why we don't have any numbers there. Then, is it all lined up for our ref? Okay, then you're gonna solve it. So then you'll ref it, and that'll be your answer for part 2. And then when you solve, X is gonna be how many nickels James had, and Y will be how many dimes they had. So you should get whole numbers for that. And then and then el primero número, cuánto aquí, 1, yo cambiaré a 2, y después, 4, 1, 2, 3, el segundo número debe ser 3. Y si no hay un número enfrente de la X, ¿qué número es? ¿Recuerdas? Si no hay un número, es un 1, ¿sí? También la Y, no hay número enfrente, 1, ¿sí? Voy abajo. And then el X, aquí, es el número de nickels, y el 9 es el número de dimes. All right, were we able to get that one? What was your answer for X? How many?
1.
1? I thought it was 4. Yeah, it should be 4 and then 9. But then remember, if it's a word problem for your test, I'll remind you the day of, but you have to say what it stands for. So if X is 4, that's how many what? Nickels, 4 nickels. And then the second number is the number of dimes, 9 dimes. Okay? Now, if you turn the page on your review, the next part tells you to solve it, but you just did it. So I'm just gonna put the answer here. Okay, it was X equals 4 nickels and 9 dimes. Cause I just did it since it got split on the page. Okay, but that's really just the same question, okay? Alright, so next class, you guys have your test. Okay, and we'll go over how to do it in the calculator one more time before you take your test. Okay, ask me if you need help, you still have about 20 minutes left. So if you need any help. You can finish it after the test, if you need extra time, but I would say try to finish it now so that you know what you need help with, you know? Huh? Just all the rest of it. Yes. Take the girl pass on the right hand side.